Boop, boop. Oh, beep, beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Semworld, and welcome to the Techno Track start to finish. I am hella nervous, guys, because as you guys know, most of the tracks you start, they probably never end up getting finished. So with this series, it forces me to finish a techno track out, while at the same time giving you guys tips, letting you guys see the mistakes I make, as well as fixing those mistakes till we get to a finished outcome. I've done this type of series before with Tech House as well as Big Room, and today we're doing the techno one. Now, I don't know if the track we're making is good or bad, but that is the point. We're just gonna work it out, come up with ideas, see what goes, see what doesn't, and then from there just build a track out of it. I haven't rehearsed this in any way, so hopefully it's fun for you guys to watch. I will edit out certain things I feel are like, okay, that was stupid for me to do, and I don't think anyone's gonna learn from that, so we're gonna edit that out just so the videos aren't that long. With that being said, let's get started, guys. So first off, 128 BPM. I like to have a master, like an ozone preset master going on whenever I work on a track. Personally, me, that's just the way I work, guys. I always end up taking it off and then mixing the track. But I like to have this just to feel the energy. A lot of the time, some people are that way, where they need to feel the track at least a certain loudness wise so that it feels right to you. You don't know if it's working until you put that master, like, holy shit. So that's just me. You don't need to have it, but that's something I do always. It hasn't hurt me in the mixing stages or the mastering because I already know it's there. So I always tend to remove it and make sure, okay, this sounds like this because of the compressor, so maybe I need to amp it up a bit more and whatnot. But I always like to run an ozone master whenever I start a track. From here, let's pick some kicks. So I'm going to be using a techno sample pack from Julian Earl that I'm working on with him. It should be out maybe at the end of this month or next month. I have 2 releases coming up for you guys that are into like presets and samples and stuff. So I don't know if it will come out this month or next month, but I'm going to be using this. Now, one of the tips I'll give you guys is if you guys want to try it out is that when you work on a techno track or on a track, it could be any genre, tend to limit yourself to just 1 or 2 sample packs. This helps in disabling choice paralysis, which is something that happens when you have like a bunch of sample packs and you're going through the kicks and you just can't pick one because you have so many choices. So here we only have 10 and we're gonna pick one and then stick with it. So we're gonna get one. I guess we can go with kick number 1. It's numero uno for a reason. China number 1. Okay, so we're gonna have this here and let's just get the kick pattern going. We're going to anchor the kick at -6, which is something I always do. We're going to have it running about 4 bars to get this out, the idea like the drum. Now, the cool thing about this kick, like I can hear it, there's a bit of reverb already in it, so that's good. I don't have to do that on my end. So what I'm going to do, however, is I don't like how it's lopsided a bit, so I'm going to mono it. Okay, good for me for now, okay? From there, let's start getting pretty much the stuff we already know needs to be in a techno track. And of course, it could be different and whatnot, but I'm just going to go with the more of the theoretic approach to this, which, you know, in essence, we're going to get some hats going. So obviously, we need the closed hat. So I think this one will work. I'll have a MIDI channel there. I'm going to drag it here so that way we open up a simpler sampler. And I'm just going to do the standard roll. Which we tend to have. However, I will add a bit of a velocity change to it just to give it a bit more life so it's not so robotic. But right now it's going to sound like... Okay, I'm going to go into the MIDI effects of Ableton, grab the velocity there and set that up. Now, the velocity is useful for adding a bit of randomness or just easing up certain things velocity. You know, when you use a piano, it has velocity. So the higher the velocity, the louder it hits. The lower, the softer, the quieter it hits. So here what I want is I'm going to lower the drive down a bit. Which in essence is just lowering down the volume of it, how hard it hits. And then I'm going to add a bit of a random to it so you get a little change. Okay, cool. I like it right there. So here is essentially what I'm doing is the out high here is the max volume you can have on the velocity. So I'm setting it to around 52, and the out low, I didn't need to change that there. I added a bit of random, which is just telling the hi-hat's velocity, switching it up, like it might do -10, +10 here, +5, -3, vice. But it adds a bit more of a human feel to it. You can definitely do it a lot higher if you want. But, you know, I don't want too much randomness in it. Just a bit so it kind of has a bit of a rhythm to it. Velocity is a great way to do that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the reverb now that I'm going to use for the drums. So I'm going to go with the Valhalla. vintage verb for this, and I'm gonna put it in a return track. It's a lot cleaner to have one reverb. It saves you CPU power. Put it in a return and just send the drums you want there. It's okay to have more than one reverb for your drums if that's what you want, but I'm gonna keep things as simple as possible here. So what I'm gonna do here is maybe go with a plate and maybe the fat drums or the drum plate seems good, and 100% if you have it on a return. Maybe a little bit of pre-delay, and the decay maybe a little bit lower, as the hats and the drums are always going to be playing, so you don't need to have a high decay value for that, as you're always going to have reverb present if you have always going through it, and we should be good there. Okay, so let's route it there now to beat. I'm going to lower my sustain here now. I want it to be a little bit more punchier. Now from there, maybe I can lower this down and off. Nah, maybe like 8. Because I think C is too high pitched, so I'm going to lower it down. I am using the simpler from Ableton. Key doesn't matter with like a hat. We're going to EQ out the lows just in case there's some, which you can see there is. So just want to clean that up a bit. When you do that, you instantly hear it sounds a little bit cleaner. It might be a placebo effect or the McGurk effect. So if you guys don't know about the McGurk effect, the McGurk effect is if your brain is seeing something being done and you're used to associating that with like a change, then if you do an EQ that does nothing, your brain will think, oh, it's doing something, and then you will hear it. It will make your ears hear it. It's a cool thing. Check it out on YouTube, McGurk effect. But here we go. That's good. Okay, now on the third MIDI channel, let's get pretty much the open hat going. So let's go here and just find an open hat. That one sounds pretty good and pretty manly. Got some big ass cojones, some balls there. All right, so we're just gonna set that up, and then we're gonna shape it to how we want it. So C3, and obviously on the offbeat there. And then we can also add a bit of a velocity change to that if we need to. Lower the sustain a bit, lower decay maybe a bit more. I'm not liking the way it sounds in that pitch, so maybe lower. There we go, that's a lot better. All right, boys, that's it. That's a tutorial. Just arrange that out. That's your techno track. Imagine that. All right, so next thing is we're going to add some perk kits. Mm, 10 and 6 sound really good. So let's see if we can get those in there. Let's try 10, and let's see where we would have it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up another MIDI, route that in there so I can play with my keyboard. Lower pitch. Okay, so maybe that will work there, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna EQ it. We're gonna increase the volume on it. Lower it down now. Let's get it some reverb. Now we're talking. Okay, let's see if we can do something else to it. Here, like, let's see if we have distortion available. I don't think we do. So we're gonna actually try and get this to sound a little bit different. Maybe a bit of a saturator or something. Let's have fun with it. So let's see. All put down, gate stage down. There we go, baby. Hell yeah. So I'm just going to put a ping pong layer, honestly. At this point, it's like, might as well. I can't find something there, and I don't want to spend too much time on that. Alright, cool. There we go. That's what I wanted. Just something simple. Alright, we're going to lower that down. It doesn't need to be that loud. Bring this up a bit more. Lower this down. Okay, cool. Now we can focus on the bass. So we're going to go here, bring up Serum, and we're going to bring up Parodox. By the way, guys, if you guys ever want to support the channel and you're making techno, make sure to check out the pack out. It's 150 presets for Serum in techno style. I mean, what else can you ask for? So I think I want to use maybe the Amelie Lens bass or maybe something simple. We'll see. So I think, you know, we got to figure out the key of this damn kick. That's the first thing. If it has a key, which a lot of times it shouldn't, just because the reverb is created by the kick. But you can always debate that the what am I doing? That the kick low end, the body of the kick has a key to it. So you can always check that out. So it looks like it's in G sharp. You're looking at the biggest form here, because G is over here. So what if we just grab this, transpose it down maybe one semitone, because I'm not that familiar with the G sharp. There we go. Okay, now I can get this and do it in. I'm not a fan of that. That was more like a one. Oh God, that's too much. Bass. So let's see if we can get something cool going with that. Let's put it here and just go, let's see, we'll do maybe like. So I'm just sidechaining there so the kick doesn't fight with it. Now let's see if we can do some cool stuff with this maybe. And I want to make sure the mono legato is good. Let's see how that sounds. Loop. Not a huge fan of that. Let's see. Maybe we could use this one seems. Yeah, we could try that. And let's see if we can do something here. Like just a cool beat that we can go. I like that a lot more. Lower. Let's EQ it. Okay, let's see how that sounds like now. We could. Pretty good. Let's see, octave higher. I don't like how it sounds, so yeah, I like it. I'm gonna save this one. Let's see if we can come up with some other stuff for this. Maybe a rolling bass would do it good too. I think I like the first one we made a lot more, so I'm just gonna stick with that. I'm going to use a span just to see the frequency response of this. I'm a bit worried just because we're using it an octave lower than we should be. But it sounds good, and that's the important thing. And it looks fine. So we're going to keep that there, and let's see how that sounds like there. Okay, cool. And let's just get this. Okay, so I want to add pretty much an effects if I have one that I can use. Just to see how it's going to sound like in a setting like. I'm going to warp it, just have it like. Okay, I'm gonna add a reverb to this and just get it going like so. Okay. Is there any way to make this shot a little longer? Because I kind of... See, lower, yeah. Alright, so we're gonna make sure that's in key as well. So we're gonna use a spectrum for it and just get it going here. And just see if we... So it looks like it's in C sharp, the highest peak of it. Usually the highest peak is what gives it that vibe. Let's see if we kind of get rid of this here. That says F, this one C. Alright, so since when I EQ it, I'm focusing more on this area, I'm gonna theoretically or just make a educated guess that it's gonna be in the key of C. So I want to get that down to a G. So that's gonna be maybe like we go down one that is B, A sharp, A, G sharp, and then G. There we go. A little bit lower. Okay, and then a little less longer there. Louder. Okay, cool. Now with the bass, maybe we can make it longer. Little bit of highs, but cut, baby. There we go. And maybe just a bit more decay on these drums, just a bit. There we go, baby. Let's put a sidechain on that, whatever the perk shot. Be safe, just in case. Doesn't need to be like, yeah, but honestly, it's not gonna. Maybe at the. Put a little bit of a sign. Okay, and let's have some fun. I'm gonna try synths out, but essentially this is what I wanted to get done today. So I have sort of like a rhythm going. I might change it up in the next episode to maybe make it a little bit more techno, maybe more delay on the bass. I don't know. We're gonna see. But let's see if it will work with like some sounds that we can kind of use. Well, I like this. So I think I have that. That would be kind of like a good idea. If we fine tune it a bit, it would be fucking awesome. So I'm just gonna get it right. So it's gonna be like that, and then we can fine tune it later on, but now we just gotta get the right reverb for that sound. We might switch the sound up later on, but I really like the idea we were working on right there. That I think that would be good for a break, so it sounds super badass. Hell, we can even maybe add an acid preset on that instead. But let's see. I just want to make sure it works with the bass that we have. So let's go with maybe a bright hall. Let's try that out. I've taken off all the reverb on the preset and the delay. It's not needed, as we're gonna add our own. And let's see if that. There we go. The only thing I don't like is it gets too wide when I add this. There we go. Kind of get it right. Lower it down a bit. Okay, so just to recap what we did, guys, we worked on the drums, we worked on the bass a bit. Now, the idea for the drop is going to be, or sorry, the break and the whole track, it's this, just so we know we're on the same page. So I want to get the melody right on it, but essentially it's going to be that, and then we'll switch notes on the top. So I'll play it as slow as I can so you kind of get an idea of what I want to go for, but this is what it sounds. That last one is good, so it's gonna be something like that, so that way once we reach the drop, so kind of you get the idea there. So I think that's gonna be the basis for the track. Let's see if we can get the melody out over here just so that we don't forget it. And let me see. And it's gonna. Yeah, something like that, and then finally reach the drop. So I think that's going to be my idea to kind of make it to light in this track start and to finish. But this is episode 1, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As we move along, we're going to keep working on this, but we're going to save this, and hopefully we can get something cool with it. I do want to make vocals for it, so we'll see what we can say there. So if you guys have suggestions on what it should say, let me know in the comments down below. If you like the sounds you heard and you want to support the pack, Parodox is there. We only have one sound called Protocol, which is working great for us right now. And that's going to be it, guys. So I'll see you guys next time for another track start to finish. But tomorrow we're going to be doing a Serum course, the Serum Masterclass. So it will probably come out on Wednesday when I work on it again. But you guys take care and peace out.